Well, good morning as we head into our final game of the Mountain Dew Blast tournament, the first tournament for the summer Iowa Storm season. We are playing the Rapid Fire, the team that we played against yesterday late afternoon and lost against. This game is to play for the third place winners of this tournament. Less than a minute to see if we can run through the roster real quick here again. I know I did this in the first game, but just to get everybody caught up. We do have two scratches from the original roster that I had. On ice, we will have in net number 10, PJ Brown, who's had a lot of shots on him this week and has turned down a high percentage of them with some really great saves. But running through the list in numerical order, number 1, Sawyer Goldie. Number 13, Asen Bentz. 14, Quinn Baker. Number 20, Graham Hildebrandt. 24, Carson Buffington. 26, Gavin Hartman. 28, Lane Hart. 29, Nolan Roush. 36, Braden Vinnick. 54, Xander Van Tilburg. 59, Benny Ortiz. 82, Brock Welch. 91, Hank Balvans. Scratches that I had from my roster are number 5, Carson Paulus, not here with us this weekend, and also here in attendance but not on the ice, recovering from a spring break injury, number 87, Xander Marin. We finally got the Wi-Fi to cooperate with us in this building. It was one of those where it was trying to send some password thing through the browser and it wasn't ever uploading properly. But things are back on track now, and that allows us to stream directly from sideline, so you can see score stats coming at you. Cindy has been helping maintain those all weekend long for us, which has been helpful. And our resolution has also gotten better. Not entirely sure where the Rapid Fire team is coming from. Not sure if they're from Minnesota or one of the Dakotas or where. But they are who I kept calling the Flames yesterday. So they have fiery flames all over their jerseys. They'll be in white. And again, Iowa Storm representing the away team in black. Periods are set to 15 minutes apiece, and I believe because we are in the championship round games, should there be an overtime, it will go into a overtime period and then a 3-on-3 shootout.
And we're going to go goalie ball right now. Starting at net for the Storm, number 10, Luke Brown. Starting at net for Rapid Fire, number 17, Blake Boyer.
I forget that PJ's name is Luke. They used his full legal name. May have thrown a few people off there a little bit, but we got 15 minutes on the board. First puck drop is down, and it's going to be the Rapid to win it. Back to Buffington, 21, sends it back up into neutral. Hartman on it now with the soft sweep. Gets it into the zone, Rapid to respond, sends it back to Buffington and to Hartman on the wall. Hartman with pressure, loses it to the Rapid as they send it back. Buffington waiting for it there along the rails. Back into neutral, and that one's going to sail through. Hits the back. Rapid's tender comes out, sweeps it away. Pass play action happening up into the middle, and another one in neutral as they carry it in. Shot goes wide, hits glass. Play continues. And Sawyer was there on the wall, and now Balvans, but we hear a whistle. There's a whistle. There's a penalty. Fire player's confused. Hits the box. 14:09 up on the clock. And Iowa Storm getting to start the period off almost immediately with a power play. 2-minute penalty being assessed to the Rapid Fire. They'll announce here soon what it was for, as I had missed it. Fire with the backside of their net and stick to the back of the head as Balvans try to bring it back down around the player. Sawyer with it, down on a knee. Puck is up off of the wall. Ortiz on it, dumps it back into the corner, slowly takes his time around. Rapids sweep it backhanded. Far side, Van Tilburg keeps it in up to Balvans. Balvans sends it back.
Rapid Fire's number 20, Dexter Larson, 2 minutes for equipment violation, not dropping the stick after a broke.
An equipment violation is what was assessed to the Rapid Fire as his stick broke and he didn't drop it. That's a new one for me, folks. I guess the Fire should have dropped it like it's hot. Minute 7 left on that power play for the Storm. Yohe 88 for Iowa now with the drop. We had an icing reset against the Storm. Van Tilburg tried to slam it in there. Didn't get very far. Too much opposition out in front of the net. Iowa with it, tried to come around the corner. Couldn't find enough loose space and didn't have a man in center to help him out. Far side. Looks like Bentz that time tried to send it back in. Van Tilburg now deflected it off the Fire stick, but a little too far out front. Bentz now picks it up in Iowa's zone. Gets it around one, up to Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt over to Vinnick. And that one's going to get all the way up to the Rapids goaltender where he's going to cover it. This clock operator is great. He's been playing some great tunes all weekend. Feel like if you're going to be a clock operator, that is a requirement. Yohe back in the drop. Iowa to win it, and Baker with a shot goes up wide. Puck clears out of the zone. Iowa meets it up to Hildebrandt, picked off by the Fire. So they try to bring it into the zone. 2-man pressure from Hildebrandt and Yohe. Don't let him get far. Yohe comes away with it into the zone, working around several. Shot, and that one is good. Yohe putting the first goal up on the board for either team, and the first one for the Storm, and it's going to be a power play goal as there was 6 seconds remaining on that power play. 12:15 left up on the clock in period 1. Storm off to a great start. Hopefully they can keep that momentum going for the rest of the game. And Iowa to win it. It's going to go back to Bentz in Iowa's zone. Bentz on up to Yohe. Gets a little bit of a body contact. Loses his skates. Back up. But Fire going to bring it back into Iowa's zone. Got pressure from Goldie now on the far side. Bentz with it. Able to get it away.
Power play goal for the Storm, number 88, Levi Yohe.
And deflected attempt by the Rapid Fire are going to go high up. They reset. Get it all the way up to the crease. Can't get it the last few inches there. Puck stays in play on the far side. And it's Bentz there trying to slow things down. Iowa now comes into center. Puck it's sent back inside the zone. Hart loses it, gets it overturned back to the Rapid. Bentz now on it, gets it cleared up off of the boards. My apologies, Yohe there. Fire again, have it, get it to their man in the middle. Bentz in the crease, helps deflect it away. in the corner now, sent cross-ice. Bent's going to retrieve it, dumps it down before Rapid can get to it. Rapid keep it inside the zone. Along the backboards, 2-on-2, exchanges hands a few times. Bentz was in the mix, as was Yohe. Yohe stops this one, able to swing it out, and Iowa on the far side keeps a hold of it, gets it to Ortiz. Ortiz working his way, he's got one out in front, loses momentum on it, puck gets behind him, and picked off by the Fire as they bring it quickly in and out of neutral, and then smacks it. Going to get that one all the way up to the net, and it's going to be bobbled out of the glove and then covered by Brown. .10:22 left, and on the drop, Iowa loses this faceoff. Rapid again going to get it all the way back up to net, and it's another glove-covered save by Brown. Another shot attempt gets all the way up to Brown. Brown maneuvering left and right on that one and able to double back to his left and cover. Great save by Brown there. 10-10 remaining in period one. Puck is down. Iowa loses it. Back to Fire defense. They send it up in through the middle. This one going to go wide left. Balvan's on the far side along with Van Tilburg there in the mix. Again, Rapid player looking at it for a minute, but we're on a two-man breakaway. But he's got backdoor coverage. Puck gets a little out in front. Can't quite get the puck on the right side of his stick there to make that shot as he wanted to. Puck is overturned in neutral. Van Tilburg able to sweep it back for a minute. Rapid send it back into the zone. This one gets past Van Tilburg. Iowa defense pick it up around the backside of their net. Sends it up to Goldie number 1 in neutral. Working around, so got full man pressure. A little bit of collision there just inside the blue. Goldie again with it. Sends it back into the zone before he heads back to the bench. Ortiz now chasing down that Rapid player with puck control. Gets around him. Makes his way out of the zone. Passes it up. His man checks his back from the wrong side. Misses it. And it results in an icing call. I believe it's Yohe again on the, nope, Vinnick on the drop for Iowa. 9:05 left up on the clock when the puck went down. Puck exchanges hands a couple of times. Hildebrand sweeps it over to his D-man. And this one going to go high up over Bentz as he's going to run that one down, but it will again be an icing call. Puck is down. Iowa loses it, so the Fire going to pick it up backside of their goal line, just right of the net. Working around Yohe. Able to pass it off into neutral. Bentz with it now. So it bounced off that Rapid stick. Passes on up. Gets it in deep. Forward progression all the way up to the net. Goaltender tried to cover it. Couldn't stay with it. Just deflected it out. Rapid with it on the far side. Pass retrieved up in the middle. And then off of this stick. Buffington with it. Rapid pick it off. Work around 2 with the shot. That one's going to be wide. Hits glass on the backside. PJ did reach out for it. It was just too far out in front of him. Buffington and now Bentz over in the far corner. Bentz trailing behind. Tries to send it off. Rapid Fire gets their stick down in time. And with a slap attempt, loses his footing on it, doesn't get where it needs to go. Welch in the mix there. Fire brings it all the way up to the crease. Brown not letting that one go in, and play is called down. Buffington's stick got tangled up in the other player, and he tried to drop it and let it go. The other kid, it looked like, was upset that he still had his stick and made it look like he threw it. The ref's like, I don't know what you want me to do about it. Just go get your stick so we can play. 7:34 left in period one. It is a 1-0 game. Storm leading over the Fire. Fire with it in the corner, sends it back to their D-man. He's got time, an open line, and he's going to get it all the way up there. PJ saw it coming at him, though, deflected it away. Far side, Storm pick it up, at least sweep it into neutral. Rapid running it down, picking it all the way up deep in their zone. So they reset behind their goal line, bring it around the backside of the net, forward it up a pass. No one there except Iowa players. And Van Tilburg chased it down, but they blow an icing call. And a slap attempt made by 28, Hart. Gets up to net, but not going to have enough money to be cashed at the bank. Puck down again, and Fire again winning the face-off. It's a chase down in the far corner. Hart and Hart. Hart, Yohe, Van Tilburg gets all the way up in the crease. PJ tries to cover it, instead deflects it away. Puck still moving around. There's a loose stick down on the ice. Looks like it's PJ's. Back inside the blue. Fire try to keep it in. Can't. Storm pick it up with time. Sends it across ice. Intended for Hartman, I believe. Doesn't connect. Rapid pick it up. Bring it into neutral. Vince out in front of him, trying to slow him down. Van Tilburg in the crease. Baker in the crease. Puck is down. Rapid again with it. Right up the middle. Stopped short by Iowa defense. Back to the same Rapids player. Same shot right up the middle, and again stopped short. I believe it was Beds there both times. Slowed that one down. Baker hanging out in the crease for defense. Rapid resetting several times around him. Loose puck comes out. Iowa clears it out, and Valvan's on the far side. Dumps it out into no man's land. Rapid's going to find it first, though. Goldie with it. Comes around with speed. She gets around 1 and 2. Loses it in the sandwich. Finds it again up off of the wall. We had a trip and a collision. No call either time. Another one, but now Valvan's is going to be called in for a tripping call. Rapids with it. Bring it back into Iowa zone. Loses his skates. Trips up a player on the Storm. Baker goes down. But they'll call tripping on Valvan's at 4:56. Iowa is seeing their first penalty kill of the game. Any other trips or anything that happened thereafter are obsolete, not called. We will reset over on the far side to Rapids' advantage. Again, 4:56 left up on the clock. Rapid to win the face-off. Send it from one D-man to the other. Looking for time. He's got a line. Sends it up. Deflected away. Rebound attempts. No good. Iowa clears it out. Iowa dumps it in. Tries to get it off the board. Slow it down a little bit. Yohe runs it down. Rapid going to respond before it hits the goal line. But with the penalty kill, we're not going to have icing anyhow. Baker with it, trying to clear it out of the mix. Yohe and going to let his defense man pick it up. Defense runs it in deep, dumps it out. Bentz changes direction. Iowa subs out their line. Rapid to pick it up from behind their net. Passes it up into neutral. Cross-ice pass received inside of the zone. Passed off again, but we're going to have a high stick call. Minute 9 on the penalty kill. 4:05 left on the clock. We'll reset to Iowa's advantage. Again for that high stick. Iowa wins this faceoff. Hildebrand on center for Iowa. Gets it back to their D man. Van Tilburg with the slapper. Going to go just a little wide, but it's glove save nevertheless. Far side, Iowa wins it. Going to send it back to the D-man. It's going to clear out of the zone. Van Tilburg over to Buffington. Buffington waiting for everyone to reset. Sends it across ice. Goldie going to pick it up. Works his way around the ref. Brings it into the zone, but he's got full pressure on him. Buffington also getting involved. Rapid's going to come away with it as they bring it out. And in to Iowa's zone. Buffington now on the wall with 3 on him. Rapids comes away with it. Loose puck ran down and met by Van Tilburg, and double pressure behind the net. Gets it off to Buffington on the far side. Resets around. Passes it hard and deep. That one going to go all the way up to the tender, and he can't receive the puck. Puck stays in play. Rapid going to get to it first. 10 seconds left for full strength for Iowa. Rapid dump it into neutral. Picked off by Iowa. Iowa with a shot stopped short by the Rapid. They're going to send it around along the boards on the far side. Hartman meets it there in the corner with 2 men on him now. Puck overturned and lets him take it. Rapid with it and comes away with the Storm. I even lost it there for a second in the shuffle of all the skates. Looks like it's Roush on it, off of the wall, sent to the far side. Rapid going to respond. He's got Roush with it now. Going to send it back to Hart. Hart keeps it in. Hart all the way up. Hart doesn't get it in, but Roush was right there. Finds it, knocks it in. Goal number 2 going to 29 Roush, assist from Hart, number 28. New lead, Storm 2-0 against the Rapid Fire. 2:04 remains in period 1. I may have been incorrect in who actually got the goal. They'll announce it here in a second, and I'll clarify. That may have gone to Brock. Let's see what they say. But we have a puck out of play as it got dumped into Iowa's bench. Puck's down, Yohe on center. Iowa loses the faceoff. Back to Buffington. Buffington in the corner, sends it over to Baker and spectator side. Down the rails to Hartman. Hartman gets it picked off. Baker to pick it up. Takes it over on the far side. And it is Brock Welch, number 82, that actually got the goal. He found it right in front and he dumped it in. So my apologies for miscalling that, but it did come from Hart. Brock's first goal of the season. Nice feather in the cap to end the weekend for him. Valvan's over on the far side. He had two men on him there. Puck overturned back to Fire's possession as they bring it in and out of neutral. Van Tilburg sweeps it right off of his stick. Buffington to come in from behind, help him out. Maintains momentum along the rails. Also, Hildebrandt over on the far side kept it going. Fire going to respond to it just inside of their own goal line. Iowa working hard to keep it in the zone. Hildebrandt with it as it rides that blue line, stays inside. Hildebrandt with it again, trying to work it off. It's picked off of his stick a few times. Van Tilburg now at the blue, trying to keep it in. Storm find the loose puck, able to easily send it out to their man, dump it into neutral. Van Tilburg with pressure again, still working around it, able to dump it back out. That one's going to go all the way in for icing. .3 seconds left on the clock for period one. Iowa to lose the face-off. Center man trying to pick it up again. Defense now for the Storm. Swing it around. Shakes one tail. Doesn't need to get very far with it as buzzer number one is blown. Well, that's the end of period one. Iowa Storm so far with a 2-0 lead over the Fire. We will check back in with you in about a minute. All right, back to the game. Fresh 15 put up on the clock for period two as we head into a no-score game for the Rapids so far. Iowa with a 2-0 lead over them. Looks like 88 Yohe on the drop for Iowa. Buffington going to meet it over in the corner, looking to get it to Yohe. Fire with pressure in the middle, keeps it in the zone, and a slapper comes up. That one goes just a little wide. Brown waiting for it. Lets that one go as it's too far out of his zone. Iowa with it, gets tripped up and causes a minor collision. No call on that one. Yohe again tries to get back in the mix as Buffington comes out of some traffic with it. Up to Hartman. Hartman tries to sweep it out. No luck. Roush this time gets one up on post. And that one's going to be a glove save. Iowa on the drop had Goldie on center, and Iowa lost the faceoff. Goldie keeps it in the zone. He's got a lot of traffic out in front of him. Van Tilburg comes into the mix from behind. Exchanges hands a few times. Puck comes away from the boards, and we see everybody running down to it in the corner. Baker going to retrieve it first. Van Tilburg also there behind him. On the far side is Ortiz in the corner. Iowa player sweeps it out, loses his feet to Balvans, gets it around one, takes his time a little bit too much, and he had several Fire players around him. One of the Storm players over on the far side takes a header, and even though Baker goes down and hit up along the boards, he's the one that has the penalty called against him. Iowa coaches calling shenanigans a little on that one. 13:27 left on the clock for period 2 and a 2-minute penalty kill being assessed to, I believe, number 14, Quinn Baker. They will announce causation here in just a minute. But he is not happy. Taking a respite in the penalty box. Fire with it, gets it all the way up. That one deflected away.
A minor penalty has been assessed to the Iowa Storm's number 14, Quinn Baker.
Another shot attempt.
For body checking. That's Baker, 2 minutes for body checking.
Body checking is the causation for that penalty, and it was against number 14, Quinn Baker. Storm has a 1.5-minute penalty kill left to play, but still able to get it all the way up to the Rapids goaltender, who stops and covers the puck. The hotel that we stayed in was pretty cool this weekend, as a lot of kids really enjoyed sitting in the pool and the hot tub and watching all of the hockey playoff games going on last night on this giant screen right over the pool. What better way to watch hockey than sitting in a hot tub, right? All right, puck in play. Fires. Pick it up. Send it around backside of their net. Bring it in a neutral zone. Single Iowa player there trying to work it off of them. And now we have Vinnick also in the mix. Gets it around Iowa's net. Rapid pick it up to their D-man with time. Sends up to their man in center. He's going to reset. Send it back to the other one. Online, just a little wide. Another shot attempt off of the goal line. Another save by Baker on that one. Coming up through traffic, Iowa loses it. Gets it sent back by the Rapids. Able to regain it. Dump it back into neutral. Rapid able to pick it up. Get all their members back on sides and reset back into the zone. Sends it spectators side. No one there. Rapids player going to be the first and only to respond. They pass it around the pattern. Iowa sitting and holding steady. Buffington finds it, dumps it way deep, and it's not going to have enough speed to get to the goal line, even though we still have 15 seconds left up on the penalty kill for Iowa, so there wouldn't have been an icing call anyhow, but it made everybody scramble. Rapid going to pick it back up again in the neutral zone, carries it back in. Birdie had a man already across the blue line, and we reset for an offsides call. 5 seconds left of the penalty kill, and then Iowa will be back to full strength with 11:33 left to play in period 2. Looks like Hildebrandt on the drop for Iowa, and Iowa's going to lose it. Fire taking a shot. That one going to make it all the way up into PJ's glove, and he's going to hold on to that for the ref. And with 11:25 now on the clock, Iowa's back to 5 men on the ice. And in the wise words of Prince, let's go crazy as the puck is down. Iowa winning the face-off, gets it back to their D-man. He's going to reset, spin it around. Hart with it back there along the wall, trying to shake loose that player. Yohe, I believe, also getting in the mix now. Puck comes away. Storm falling behind. Fire going to pick it off, keeps it in the zone. Another shot. That one, another deflected, drops down to the ice, and PJ covers it. Puck is down. Iowa wins it and not able to come through traffic. Rapids going to get it all the way up. The Iowa defender going to clear it out of the crease. Puck stays in play. Yohe on it on the far side as he turns it around, tries to break it through traffic. It's going to be stopped by the Rapid and turned back in. It's going to go wide right over into the corner. Rapids on it again, try to recenter. Iowa not letting them have it very easily. Rapids reset out of the corner, get it to their D-man. Hildebrandt was there to scramble it up. Buffington now with it. It's going to lose it just right at the red line. Tries to get it around. Yohe again now on the far side. Also getting some help from Welch and Buffington. Puck is going to get through the mix all the way up to PJ. He deflects it away. Hildebrandt, that was Van Tilburg. Gets it up through the mix. Rapid's going to find it in their own zone this time. Rapid retrieve it in neutral, bobble it around. Buffington and Van Tilburg both there. Van Tilburg chasing down that player. Other Rapids going to come in from the opposite direction. Sweeps it back through the feet up to PJ. First save and a second save, both for PJ. Loose puck picked up by the Storm. Vinnick to Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt getting a lot of back shoving, and he retaliates a little bit there, trying to get that man off of his back. No call from either side. Rapids recover the puck in neutral, gets it all the way up to PJ, tries to deke it around, misses it. No man there to pick up that loose puck as the back door was wide open, and from inside the blue line, another shot comes from the Rapid, and another stop and save by Brown. Given that we played this team yesterday and seen how the Storm were playing against them today, you wouldn't think that they had ever played against each other. Completely different game from what we saw yesterday, and for the better. 9:18 up on the clock. Puck is down. Hartman, they're trying to keep it in the zone. Trying to clear it from the zone, rather. Fire able to keep it in. Breaks into neutral ground. Fire reset it back into Iowa's territory. Back into neutral. Everybody back on side as Fire going to dump it in. Picked up by the Storm behind their net. Try to dump it down line. Fire keep it in the zone. Storm clear it out. Back on the blue. Rapid pick it up and again dump it back in. Bent's there with it, looking for somebody to send it to. Finds an open Storm player. Roush on it, going to bring it in and out of neutral. Works his way up. Passes it cross ice. Hartman to pick it up. The intended recipient wasn't able to connect on it. Hart with it, sends it around back. Storm going to lose it to the Fire as they bring it in and out of neutral fast, running along the spectators' rails. Get it to their man up in center who tries to get it in. Misses that connection and gets a wide angle on it. Bents again with it now up on the wall, bringing it himself in and out of neutral. He's got one man in front, gets around him, looks to reset, gets it tipped off of his stick a little bit. Can't get it to Ortiz, who is waiting there on post for it. Goldie and Bentz both on the wall. Gets past both of those guys. Baker now trying to shake it. Able to dangle it off of that Rapid Fire through his feet. Bentz helps him out. Sends it back in. Rapid keeping it in. right in time before it went back into neutral zone on the far side out of the corner. Storm with it, brings it back out into center, gets some assistance from another Storm player. In neutral, Ortiz on it, trying to get a stick down on the ice. Valvan's coming in to help out. Overturned back to the Fire as they bring it back into Iowa zone. Centered pass picked off by Iowa. Rapid still able to come away with it, get a shot off. That one visualized and shut down by Brown all the same. $7:16 left up on the clock for period 2. Both teams kind of taking their time getting reset back on the ice. Everyone needing a little bit of a breather there. That seemed to be a long play time in between. Rapids player passes it back and forth along their D members inside of the blue. Send it in. Going to go wide. Picked up by their own team. And they just announced that the Fire have subbed out their goalie. Put a new tender there in net. Welch on it up along the wall. Overturned back to the Fire as they reset. Bring it out of neutral. Back into Iowa zone. Pass it off. Try to work around. Backhanded shot. Going to go too wide out in front. PJ with an attempt to catch it there. Unable to do so. A little too far of a reach. Puck now stuck against the wall on the far side. Several Iowa players there. And we have some pushing and shoving and stripping and some other things over on the far side. And they are ultimately going to call a penalty again on the Storm and subsequent penalty on the Fire. .6:28 left in period 2. It is a 2-0 lead for Iowa Storm over the Rapid Fire. Shared penalties going to those two. Call it roughhousing. Still remains 5-on-5 gameplay. Iowa able to dump it into the Rapids zone. Rapids going to be the first and only to respond just outside of their own goal line. Goldie with it, with a shot. It's going to get all the way up and bounces off of the tender skate. Goldie to reset with it. Gets around one, gets a trip, no call. Iowa resets, looking for Ortiz out in front of the net. Can't quite get it to him. They're going to reset again. Try to pull it off of the wall. Loses his skates on that turn. Other players just sitting on him. Neither player can get up. They don't call the play dead. It keeps going.
So the Iowa Storm is number 20. Brandon Hildebrand, 2 minutes for roughing. And Rapid Players, number 17. Harrison Jack State, 2 minutes for roughing.
So they called it 2 minutes for roughing against Hildebrand. And again, shared penalty to the Rapid Fire for the same thing. A little bit of an elbow there to the neck on Goldie against the wall. But they're going to call a checking on Ortiz. .5:02 left in period 2. Iowa on a 2-minute penalty kill as they put Ortiz in. Again, I believe it was a checking call there. Iowa again trying to fight it out of the crease. PJ on it. Puck is down. Rapid with it.
Iowa scores number 59, Benny Ortiz, 2 minutes for body checking.
And it was a body checking call against 59 Ortiz. Vince with it out of the corner. Iowa clears it from in front of their own net, gets it up to Roush. Roush around one, stays with it, and a shot. That one deflected down. Puck stays in play. Roush tries to recollect on it. Fire going to get to it first. Storm keep it in the zone. Baker on that one, going to dump it into the corner. Goes around to the far side. Baker tries to keep it in again, misses it. Another trip call people were looking for. Not going to see one. Rapid reset, bring it into the zone. Pass it off, received. Along the wall, back to their D-man, up through the middle. Stop short. Off of player's skate. That one looked like it tingled a little bit as he's kind of hopping off. Yohe with it now, back in the zone. He had two-man pressure. Hard hit, sends him into the board, and he goes down. Looks like he had some stars there for a second. He's back up, though. Rapid reset, bring it into neutral. Pass across at the red line. Passed it back into the zone. Buffington now with it, trying to clear it out. Storm going to find the loose puck with it. Goldie on it, gets it around one. He had coverage out in front. Buffington to pick it up from the back end. Sends a shot out. That one resets. As it goes wide, Fire with it. Going to clear it way out of the zone as there's still 10 seconds left on Iowa's penalty kill. Van Tilburg going to pick it up backside of the net. Sweeps it cross ice. Buffington slows it down. Fire still going to pick it off in the neutral zone. Pass it around. Brings it into the zone. Pass through traffic. Not received by their man, but he's going to run it down. Goldie backside of the net. Buffington also with some assistance. Rapid just changed direction. Van Tilburg sweeps it off of his stick. Defender with a sweep up front. Deflects away. Iowa is back to full strength. Rapid with it. Sends it back to their D-man. With time and a line. Gets it all the way up to PJ. Deflected away. Puck stays in play. And Storm behind it. Able to dump it out before the Rapid knocked it off of his stick. But as he dumped it on the far side of the red line, it will be an icing call. 2:21 left in period 2. Iowa to reset in front of their net. Hildebrandt out of the box on center. Iowa to win it, but it's going to go and through to Rapids defender. He gets it all the way up to PJ. PJ sees that one coming and again keeps the souvenir. Puck's down, Valvan's on it, gets it over to Hartman. Hartman with it's got one out in front, but two coming up fast from behind. Loses the puck behind him. Hildebrandt trying to find it. He also loses it. Rapid take it away. Dump it into neutral, pass it off. Shot attempt goes wide. PJ able with a sliding maneuver. Saves that one out of the air. Playing some Billy Idol now, who just was announced as getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So if you're a Billy Idol fan, there's a little bit of trivia knowledge for you there. Iowa brings it all the way into the zone, loses it at the goal line. Bentz dumps it back into the corner where another Storm player was waiting for it. Gets it all the way up on line. Rapid Fire goaltender swept it away. Puck still in play. Bentz on it. Bentz tries to connect it with, I believe it was Vinnick. Maybe not. Sometimes when their jerseys get kind of caught up in their breezer, it's hard to read their number. That one was Bentz as he sends it back, looking for somebody there. Rapid with it, trying to get it through traffic. He loses his stick, but takes a souvenir. Takes a Storm player stick with him. That gear is recovered. 45 seconds left in period 2. Rapid with it with an easy dump into neutral. Picked up by their man as he works around Goldie and around Baker. Going to get it up on line. PJ waiting for it. Another save by Brown. .34 seconds left on the clock. See Goldie on the drop. Fire going to win this one. Fire gets it to their man in the corner, works around the ref, back to their man on the blue line. So they just kind of tossle it back and forth. That player loses his feet and looks at the Storm player, waiting for a call, not going to get one. Valvan's with it, sent it a little too far off of his stick. Rapid recover it, bring it around the backside of their own net. 5 seconds remain. Fire bring it in and out with speed of neutral. He's got Buffington out in front of him. Buffington tried to get to it. Stick was a little high, and if it wasn't for the buzzer there, it may have potentially allowed for a hooking call. Final period headed our way here after a minute and a half reset for everybody to chit-chat with each other. We'll check back in soon. And a final 15 minutes put up on the board for period 3. Puck is down, and Iowa loses it. Rapid going to pick it up right away, bringing it to Iowa's zone. Tries to get a shot off, deflected, and shut down by the Storm. Hartman over to Roush. Roush with it there, and Rapid going to bring it to the spectator side. Yohe trying to chase him down, and Hart out in front also trying to slow him down as he gets through both. Sends it to the man in center, can't get it anywhere. Other guy going to send it up onto net. Saved by PJ Brown there. Puck stays in play. Iowa tries to reset it from out of the corner. A little bit of a back check there. No call by Yohe. Rapid get it away. Far side looking to send it to somebody. Get it back to their D man. Pass shut down. Roush with it. Roush with a lot of pressure on him. Puck sweeps back to the Fire. They pass it in neutral, and now Van Tilburg chasing him down on the far side. Gets around him. Iowa with a slide in there, deflects it away, and 29 again, Roush on it. Now trying to pick it up again, able to get it through from around the 1. Second player trying to work it out through people's feet. Ortiz also in the mix. Iowa again finds the puck around the backside, tries to get it in. And number 3 going to go to number 59, Ortiz, waiting on the post, finds the puck sent to him by number 1, Goldie. But that is goal number 3 made with 13:18 left on the clock. If they're a little bit, got kind of pinned up. Shot by the Rapids, going to be deflected by Brown. Buffington in the mix. Ortiz also there, trying to deflect it away. Storm going to come away with it. Goldie on it. Goldie intending to get it through traffic, can't quite get it there. Buffington also can't respond to it. Bent's now with it. One trailing behind. He dumps it back. No one's home. Fire comes in to pick it up. Iowa again resets with it inside of their zone. In neutral. Dumps it up and deep. Rapid to respond inside of their zone. Dumps it out at the red line. Iowa takes it. Picks it back off. Dumps it in deep. Rapid back into neutral. Buffington not letting him have it. Rapid going to reset. And we hear a buzzer. They're saying Buffington back in the sin bin for 2 minutes. .12:04 remaining on the clock. Iowa to serve a 2-minute penalty kill coming up. Rapid with it on line up front. That one gets all the way, hits PJ in the chest. Bobbles out in front of him, but he's able to jump out there and sit on it. Rapid to win the face-off. They send it right up the middle. And another shot attempt right up on line. 1 save and 2 saves for Brown. And they called body checking on Buffington. Minute 37 left in the penalty kill. Rapid reset right up the line. PJ looking for that one, and that one just tipped off of his glove. That going to be the Fire's first goal of the game and a power play goal for them. 11:36 in period 3. New score, Iowa 3 over the Rapid Fire at 1. Puck is down. Rapid going to win it. Back to their D man and pass up to their man at the red line. Brought into the zone. Pass received. Sent back. Shot on. No good. Second shot. No good. PJ recovers that one. And while he keeps his hand on that puck the whole time, he's using the other one to block his face. Things get a little scrappy in front of his net there. Puck is down again. We are back to full strength. Hildebrandt with it up on the wall, and now downrange is Zinnick, I believe. Hildebrandt trying to pull it off the wall and help him out. Fire keep it in with the line-on shot. That one was just going to go right outside, but another save by Brown. Puck is down, Yohe on it. Iowa wins it. Hartman comes away out of the mix with it. Brings it into neutral. Works it around. He's got 3 pressure off of him. Puck gets out in front and stolen by the Fire. Fire on spectators' wall. Yohi again there with it. Buffington this time with a slapper. This one goes wide. Fire to retrieve it on the far side. Tries to clear it out of the zone. Second time does the job. This one's going to go all the way in for icing. Puck clears through the zone, and it's a race. Fire going to get it all the way up. Shut down. Shut down by Brown. But then, coming up from behind, Rapid teammate finds the loose puck and dumps it in. .10 left to play. Storm still holding the lead, but that gap is closing. 3-2 now over the Rapid Fire. Puck is down. Iowa wins it. Ortiz with it. Gets through traffic, but Fire are going to pick it up. Into neutral. Goldie on it. Trying to get some help from Hart and Bentz on the far side. Again, all the way up to Brown. Brown covering it. Just under 10 minutes to go. Puck is down. Rapid win it up through the middle. Can't quite get it there. Benson now going to meet him in the corners. Tries to slow it down. It's going to get through. Continues around. Storm with it. Looking to send it to somebody. Gets it through traffic. Hildebrandt with it. Hildebrandt loses it off of his stick just outside of the zone. Fire to reset. Off of the wall. Bobbles wide. Bentz trying to pick it off. Gets deked around and they send it back to their defender. Up on line. And a faulty shot attempt by the Fire. Overturn it back into neutral. Hildebrandt with it. Gets it taken back in. Bentz back up to Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt neutral zone. Picked off of his stick again by the Fire. Fire passed it off. Dumped into the zone. Bentz to receive. Bentz around the backside of the net. Dumps it back. Loses his feet. Trying to add some power to it. I would recover it up to Hildebrandt. It's out in front of him. See if he can get there in time. He's going to be able to respond. Comes off of his stick. Doesn't quite follow him as he intended to. Fire overturns it. Brings it fast in and out of neutral. Bentz there. Couldn't slow him down. Buffington also can't slow him down. Shot attempt is good as it hits just the inside of the post. Went a little further left than Brown had intended. And at 8:41 in period 3, we now have a tie game. Fire now on the adrenaline rush, and the Storm starting to get a little wore out. Hopefully they can keep that energy high, finish out the game, regain their lead. Iowa, Yohi on it over on the far side. Through traffic, shot attempt. No good. No man on post there for the Storm to pick up the rebound. Fire going to reclaim it, pass it up into neutral. He's got to get around Van Tilburg. Can't do it. Van Tilburg sweeps it off of his stick. You get some assistance on the back end from Roush. Roush staying with it over on the far side. Roush to Yohi. Yohi looking for somebody. Sends it over to Hartman. Hartman with it. Backhanded. Soft. No good initially, but Yohi stays on it. Going to take that lead back. At 8:03 in period 3, Storm regained their lead 4-3. And that was a Yohi goal from Hartman. 8:03 puck is down. Goldie on the drop, trying to get it through traffic. Iowa's going to win it. Puck comes back down to earth. Ortiz with it this time, loses it in the mix. Goldie to pick it up. Rapid picks it off of his stick. Comes out of the mix into Iowa's zone. Van Tilburg trying to slow it down. That one's going to get all the way up to Brown. Brown's going to cover that one. And Balvan's covering his goalie, gets a little frustrated with the rapid fire player, as does Van Tilburg. And both defenders for Iowa going into the box. And it is a 5-on-3 game. They're serving 2 minor penalties to Iowa. Rapid fire with this shot. PJ covers the first one, can't see the second one, and that one on the rebound makes it into the back door. Tie is regained 4-on-4. They still haven't exactly called why Iowa has 2 people in the box. Vanek on the drop for Iowa. Iowa tries to win it. Fire going to get in there at the last little bit. Fire with it in neutral. Pass it up. We now have 4 players out there. As they only called 1 down. Brown tried to cover that one. Couldn't get it underneath. They snuck it out underneath. 54 Xander Van Tilburg. 2 minutes for cross-checking.
Second was assessed to number 91, Henry Belmont's 2 minutes for roughing.
And then we had 2 minutes for roughing against Balvans. But it looks like they only kept 1 in the bin. There's a minute left on the penalty kill as it's now 4-3. With that goal, we got 1 man back, which is helping things as this game is still being played very defensively. And we hear all of the parents on the Fire yelling that they should have had a call against the Storm there, except Fire player actually hit PJ in the back of the head to the point where his head bobbled. And that was when the Storm came and played and defended him. Refs are now talking to the Storm coaches, making their way over to the Fire side. The roughing and cross-checking that Van Tilburg and Balvans had earlier also were for some of the same things as they were protecting the goalie as they were getting rather choppy against him. Looks like they may have called a timeout on one of the sides as we sit and pause. 6:36 left on the clock. Game score is 4-4. 52 seconds left upon the penalty clock for Iowa. All right, play to resume. Iowa with 4 men on the ice, 52 seconds left in their penalty kill, and 6:36 left to play. Iowa going to try to work hard now again to break the tie, as it is a 4-all game. Goldie and now Buffington with it, backside of the net. Going to just send it all the way down. They called icing. Maybe since it was icing on us and we're on the penalty kill, that's why they will assess it and have us reset to the Fire's advantage in front of Iowa's net. Yohe on the drop, Fire to win it, Fire with the shot, and that one saved. PJ pulls that one in and even looked at that player he saw gunning for him. Let's do it again. 30 seconds left on the penalty kill. Yohe with it. Iowa to win it. Still caught in the shuffle. Going to go back to the blue line. Kept in the zone. Line deflected outward by the Storm. On the boards. Fire respond. Attempt is no good, and it's Yohe with it, but he's got pressure on both sides. Works around one. Looking for somebody to help him out. Now he's in the corner with it. 2 men behind. 3, 2, 1, and Iowa's back to full strength. Balvans is out of the box, and in his place, Storm player comes back on in his place. 5:28 left to play. Rapid with it. Bring it around backside of Iowa's net. He trips on his own skate. Out in front, doesn't connect. Storm's puck. Goldie with it in neutral. He's got a lot of pressure, getting some help from his other man. Dumps it out into the zone. That one was just wide of line. Storm again trip on their own volition. Able to pick it up. Getting it around 29. Roush was there. Iowa again. Iowa gets it. Ducks just in time for it to go up and over his head. Fire with it. Sends it into neutral. Hartman waiting for it. Hartman gets around him. Hartman skates forward. Off of the wall, getting some help from, I can't read who that is. Vinnick, I believe. Fire send it in. Hartman keeps it in on the far side. Apologies. Bentz from Iowa's blue line. Bentz again with it. Tips it forward. Hartman with it. Puck comes away. Rapid behind it. Sends it cross ice. Iowa slows him down. Picks it off. Back into neutral. 4 minutes left to play. Rapid with it. Sends it back. Bentz there with it. Fighting for it on the back wall. Rapid send it out into the middle. Deflected away. Goes far. Left. Sent back out. Ortiz there gets past him. Rapid going to collect it at the red line. Cross ice pass. Lots of room to work with. Bentz and Hart both try to slow him down. Shot goes wide on the far side. Balvans with it. Balvans taking his time. Get it up to Ortiz. Ortiz with pressure though. Loses it. Balvans comes in from behind. Picks it off. Takes a shot. That one goes wide behind. Rapid to pick it up. Along spectators' wall. Gets it into neutral. Ortiz trying to pick it off. Hart and Bentz both in the mix. Fire player goes down. Bentz able to recollect the puck. Gets it a little out in front of him. Stays with it. He's got pressure. Rolling into traffic. 2 men in front. 1 along the backside. Fire pick it off the 6. Sent it back. Goldie there on it. Gets it up to Ortiz. Ortiz trying to clear it out of his neutral space. Goldie again on it. Getting some help from Balvans. Balvans up to Ortiz this time. Ortiz loses it just inside of the blue line. Fire with it. Bringing in and out of neutral. Gets around 1. Can't quite get it off of Baker. Another shot attempt goes up. Brown stops and covers that one. Baker also staying down on the ice for some additional coverage there. Still a tied game at 4-all. 2:42 left on the clock for period 3. Yohe on the drop. Iowa to win it. Baker and Buffington both behind. Sweeps it out. Buffington stops it with a shin. Backhands it off. Clears it into the neutral. Fire find it. Try to bring it back into the zone. Yohe out in front also with Buffington. Buffington off of the boards. Back into neutral. Rapid resets. They all get back on sides. He dumps it in. Baker's there waiting for it. Intends to take it backside of the net, but stops and turns around. He's got room to work. Working up into traffic. Puck a little out in front of him, but is able to catch up to it. Stays with it. Met in the corner, but he's got full fire all the way around him. Puck dumped out from behind the net. Rapid going to be the only ones to respond to it. Now they have lots of room to work. Pass it up into neutral. Can't stay with it. Yohe gets it around 1 and 2. Dumps it up off of the boards. Recollects with it. He's got two-man pressure. Fire sweep it away from the boards. Welch now in the mix with Yohe. Yohe in between skates and stick there. Still trying to fight for it. Puck comes out. Van Tilburg with the slapper. Sends it on up. Rapid look to reset it. Van Tilburg now going to chase it down. This way, getting all the way up to Brown, and he's going to stop and collect that one. A minute 21 left on the clock. And Baker, Coach Baker on the sidelines, upset about a call of some kind or a call that didn't happen. Going to reset in front of Iowa's net here. Puck comes away, Rapid behind it. D-man onside the blue line sends it to the far corner. Bent's there, as is Roush on the far wall. Fire send it back to the D-man on the other side, up off of the boards. Bent's trying to get there. Van Tilburg also watching the crease. PJ on it. The first time, loose puck comes just a little bit out in front as he's fighting hard. That one gets deflected and goes up over the top of him. 58.4 seconds left in the game, and the Fire take the lead over Iowa. 5-4 now on the clock. Iowa with way too many people on the ice. And we're back to 5-on-5 now. Puck is down. Goldie was on it. Iowa wins it, but Fire going to find it, get it all the way up to PJ. He's going to deflect that one away. Bent's going to chase it down on the far side. Bent sends it up to Goldie. Goldie with it, trying to get around one, loses it. Fire sweeps it back. Bent's there on the far side, stripped off of his stick. 30 seconds left. All the way up to PJ, swept away. Iowa resets. We have another call, and they're going to blow that one. Rapids player went down in the corner. He's hurting, but up on his own volition, making his way back to the bench. And they put an Iowa player in the box. 21.6 seconds left. And they're calling shared penalties, so one on each side. And we're going to reset center ice here. Vinnick on the drop, 5-on-5. Iowa wins it, but it's loose puck met by the Fire in Iowa's zone. Dumped, hand-gloved down. Iowa try to reset it again. Ortiz gets past him, picked up by the Fire, but in Iowa's zone. 5 seconds left. Fire plays with it backside of their net. And that is the final buzzer, folks. That was a wild game and I will say there were some questionable calls, both for ones made and ones not, but what can you do? With this, the Rapid Fire secured third place in the Mountain Dew Blast, and that would be a fourth place finish for the Iowa Storm as we go through our final handshake moment here. Well, thank you for tuning in. We will be back to hockey in June. I don't remember the name of that tournament offhand. And I also don't fully know if the Marins will be there for any of the games or just for a few. So streaming may or may not be available, at least by us. Maybe somebody else will be able to help take over that. If not, we apologize. Otherwise, everybody drive safe,